Hello students, today I'll take on the second poem, Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, that is by Stephen Spender. I'll take paragraph by paragraph, and those of you listening me, I would appeal to you to have a pencil or a pen so that you can write it down everything on the book itself. You may understand word to word. Since all MCQs are expected this season in the first term, so it's mandatory to understand everything. क्योंकि इस टर्म में सभी के सभी MCQs आने वाले हैं, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आपके पास पेन पेंसिल हो, ताकि जो कुछ भी मैं यहाँ से एक्सप्लेन करूँ उसको आप बुक पे ही लिखते रहें, ताकि जो तैयारी है MCQs की वो माइन्यूटली करनी है. इसलिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम MCQs को ध्यान में रखते हुए इसको आगे बढ़ाएं. So this is how I'm going to start. Elementary school classroom in a slum, that is also referred as ghetto children, Ghetto, that's the other name of that. Now here what he says, the introductory part here, the elementary classroom in a slum, Stephen Spender has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequalities. मिस जो पोएम इसने जो लिखी है स्टीफन स्पेंडर ने, वो सोशल इनजस्टिस, जो अन्याय हमारे समाज में हो रहा है. और इस पोएम में आप देखेंगे कि जो बच्चे हैं इनको पढ़ाई के नाम पर कुछ भी नहीं दिया जाता. स्कूल में तो हैं, लेकिन स्कूल में कोई भी सुविधा, कोई भी कंफर्ट, कोई भी लग्जरी उनके पास नहीं है जो स्कूल एनवायरनमेंट में होनी चाहिए. तो सोशल इनजस्टिस और क्लास इनइक्वालिटीज़ की बात वो कहेगा. ये इसका थीम भी है. Far, far from the gusty wave, these children's faces like rootless weeds. Children like is a simile here. So he points out to the pathetic condition of the children in slum. Okay, so it is slum school, so he is pointing out to the pathetic condition of these children. The poet, what he says here, that their life is sharp contrast to the open and healthy environment. Is this sharp contrast to what it should be and what it is like this, Children faces like gusty, they are strong waves, but their school is away from those strong waves. So nothing natural about that, Okay, naturally. So like root, so their faces, they are so tired, they are so upset, they are so weary that their faces, if you compare, that look like rootless weeds. It means unwanted weeds which grow in any kind of vegetation which are to be removed. Their faces look like that. That is figure of speech, children, simile. Wherever you got as or like, it is simile there. The hair torn around their pallor. It means if you see their face, that is just like pallor. That means pale. That means as if it is a corpse. Okay, because when a person dies, his body turns out to be extremely yellowish, So they are suffering from malnutrition. They've got nothing much to eat and talk about. So their faces, how do they look like? Like rootless weeds, unwanted weeds. And the hair are all scattered there all over the face. And you can see some of the students here. And one of them is a tall girl. Tall children, it's adjective. Tall girl with a weighed and down. Children, there is a hyphen between. Okay, so that is a phrase you can call it here. Okay, the tall girl with a weighed down head. So the head is weighed down. She is extremely tall. Okay, but her head is weighed down because of the atrocities, because of the problem that she has got in her life. She is leading an unwanted life, a burdensome life, and that is because her head also goes down. And the paper seeming boy, again a phrase is coming here, children. Paper seeming boy, exceptionally as thin as paper. He is exceedingly a thin boy. The paper seeming boy with rat's eyes. Now he is always hungry. Rat, children, if you just see the rat's life, it keeps running from place to place, and you keep tons of food there in front of the rat. It will always keep chewing and biting it, as is this boy. They have not been fed properly, they are underfed. Okay, they are suffering from malnutrition, so their health, you can see, their people look like wafers only. Exceptionally thin boy with rat's eyes, That's the physical condition of these children. And a tall girl, I already said, his head is dropped under the burden of unwanted life, and here small boy is all skinny, very very thin, and the poet compares him to the thinness of a paper. That is a paper seeming boy. And what has he inherited, children? Like some of the prosperous families, what do they give to the children? Lot of money, lot of good health, a lot of education, lot of property. This is what is expected to be given to the youngsters who are coming from prosperous families. But here, what this boy who has got stunted growth, he is as thin as a paper, he has got rats which look like rats' eyes, always hungry. So what has he inherited? What he has taken from his forefathers? इसने अपने forefathers से, अपने पूर्वजों से क्या लिया है? मिस बीमारियाँ, twisted bones, मतलब सीधा खड़ा भी नहीं हो सकता ये तो. So the stunted, that means undergrowth, नाटा जिसको बोलते हो, छोटे कद का. Unlucky, that is an adjective, children. Unlucky here that means successor. Of twisted bones, this is what he has inherited. Reciting a father's nail disease. और वो सुना भी क्या रहा है, देखो उसके पास सुनाने के लिए क्या है, एक कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डिजीज़, एक नेल डिजीज़, जिसको वो वर्णन कर रहा है अपने साथियों के साथ कि देखो उसको ये बीमारी है और उसके पेरेंट्स को, उसके फोर फादर्स को भी यही बीमारियां थी. तो उसका ही वो जिक्र कर रहा है, क्योंकि यही चीज़ें उसने अपने फोर फादर्स से इनहेरिट किए, विरासत में ये चीज़ें ली हैं, इसलिए उन्हीं चीज़ों का वो जिक्र कर रहा है, इन्हीं चीज़ों का वो वर्णन कर रहा है. Twisted bones, this is what it. So children, small questions like MCQs, what has he inherited? Twisted bones. And he is reciting a nail, that means very very complicated disease. His lesson from his desk. So he is there at his desk, he is reciting a lesson about the complicated diseases that he has inherited from his forefathers. And then not all is lost, children. There is a silver lining in the sky also. So yes, you have seen a tall, slim girl whose head is weighed down. You've seen a boy who has got rat's eyes, paper seeming boy, exceptionally thin, nail diseases, and he has carried all that from his father and forefather. But then there is a boy who is looking just opposite to opposite side of the window, and he sees there one squirrel जस्ट जंपिंग अप एंड डाउन. एक स्क्विरल को देखता है, गिलहरी है जो कि अप एंड डाउन जंप कर रही है. और अगर कोई जंप कर रहा है बच्चों, तो उसका मतलब ये है कि वो बहुत खुश है, फ्री है. सो ही वांट्स टू लीड ए लाइफ ऑफ फ्रीडम जस्ट लाइक ए स्क्विरल. ही डजंट वांट टू बी द पार्ट ऑफ this all complicated things that he finds here, which are not actually meant for the school children. So he doesn't want to be the part of that anymore. So one dim is adjective. Dim means here no life, no enthusiasm, okay, no eagerness to study. There is no environment at all. That is dim class. So one unnoted, sweet and young. So the boy is sweet, he is young. Okay, so these are all adjective, children. It's dim class, it's one unnoted, because the majority of the children are of the same stuff. They are carrying one or the other diseases. There's no eagerness on their part to learn. But then there is one child who has got something to look different to, and if he is one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. So he lives in a dream that is equivalent to a squirrel. That again I tell you, that squirrel keeps jumping up and down all over the tree. He also wants to lead an independent, a free life away from this congested life that he finds there in this room. In the tree room, other than this, so there is a tree room where you can find the squirrel, so he just wishes to go out. That is how. So you see, this is the classroom environment where you find the bulk of the students. They're not interested. There is no environment that is there fit for teaching or learning or studying. But then yes, there is somebody who has got some hope and aspirations. He looks outside. So this is, children, what you find in the very first paragraph. Now like rootless weeds, you can see here the figure is unkept here. They are unkept here, and okay, the slum children, they are scattered haphazardly over their pale places, rootless. That is Now the second paragraph here, on sore means greasy, walls, donations, Shakespeare said. So you can see there on every place, there are some names written who might have donated this thing and that thing. Everywhere, children, in normal life also, you visit a temple or visit a gurudwara or any religious spot you visit, even burial places, graveyards, there also you see some marks are written there, some stones are placed there, writing their names of the people who must have donated this thing and that thing. So here also you can see all over the places the names of different persons who might have donated this thing and that thing at places. Those are written there. And Shakespeare had, now children, Shakespeare belongs to a high profile, rich culture society, literate, very educated society. So he means to address those people who are equivalent to him, high profile literate people. But here it's a slum school. You don't get even proper education, the ordinary education, the elementary education. Now what Shakespeare is doing, it's quite ironical to have the statue, the picture there of Shakespeare in this particular room. Cloudless at dawn. Well, early in the morning it is against, you can see some freshness coming from the background. So, but that freshness does not exist here in this room. The Shakespeare's energy, which the children feel they are deprived from getting, that actually is missing here. At dawn, that is early morning time before actually the sun rises. Civilized dome riding all cities. Now civilized dome, children, they are buildings of every nature. You can see the hospitals, you can see the restaurants, you can see those coaching places, parks are there, the workplaces are there, the studying rooms, the libraries are there, the playgrounds are there, everything, the malls, everything you feel that is quite comfortable and a comfort zone for the high and rich people, the students, the youngsters. Now that is displayed there on the walls itself, and then there is a map there which displays all those things which are actually meant for the rich people. And that is what the symbolic meaning you'll find, that the poet in the end wants all these things which are being displayed on the map on the wall, that should be actually the part and parcel of the life of these slum dwellers as well. That is the meaning. So there is a music all around, there are flowers, all fragrance, parks everywhere. There is a tireless valley, that's a group of valleys in Austria. Now that is, so you understand why those things are being placed there. Only it is a temptation, it is being shown that, see, you don't have those things. Open-ended map awarding the world its world. Now awarding the world its world, that means the privileged class, the rich class, the political class, जो अमीर लोग होते हैं, जो पॉलिटिक्स से रिलेटेड होते हैं, जो सुख सुविधा जिनके पास होती हैं, ये मैप उन्होंने बनाया और उन्होंने अपनी सहूलियत के बनाया, अपने कंफर्ट जोन के लिए बनाया. उसको जैसे ट्विस्ट करना चाहे कर सकते हैं, जहाँ चाहें जो चाहें बना सकते हैं. इसमें एक भी ऐसी चीज़ नहीं है जो कि इन पुअर स्लम ड्वेलर्स के लिए बनाई गई हो. इसलिए उसने बोला ओपन-एंडेड मैप, दैट मीन्स दे कैन शेप एंड रीशेप एनी टाइम दे वांट. कभी भी चाहें उसको शेप और रीशेप कर सकते हैं, चाहें तो कुछ भी बना सकते हैं. इसलिए उसने बोला एंड open-ended map awarding the world its world, and yet for these children these windows, not this map. Means he says not even a single window in the entire map. पूरी की पूरी व्यवस्था में कोई एक भी प्रोविज़न, एक भी चीज़ ऐसी नहीं है जो इन गरीब बच्चों के लिए बनाई गई हो. और इसलिए वो चाहता है कि जो मैप है, अभी अब देखना नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में आएगा कि मैप, उसको बैड एग्जाम्पल बोला गया. You'll see why. I'll tell you. Here, children, these windows are not this map. There are a lot of things that are being displayed on this map, but not even a single thing that is meant for these poor people. That is the irony. This is the pain of the poet, that this political class, before the election, they promise anything and everything, that you just vote to us, and then we will do this thing and that too, will make your life very comfortable, very smooth, very convenient, all kinds of educational facilities, roads, okay, housing, water, electricity, jobs, everything they promise before the elections are held. But once those elections are held, well, you see the condition, they never come to bother for these people. So that is one thing that he cries upon, about the complaint that he registers to the high profile, the privileged, the political class, as to why they are not taking care of what they need to be taking care. Otherwise also, even if they don't promise, it is their duty. Even the NGOs, where all the future is painted with fog. Now you can see fog, it is misty, foggy, it is very unclear. You never know what's beyond that. So the life is very foggy. They never know what's going to happen. Will they get something? Won't they get something? It is all uncertain. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. It's a bluish sky, lead sky, beyond which they cannot see anything. The streets are very narrow. All these are the symbolic meaning of their congested and limited life that they live in. Far, far from the rivers, caves, and stars of the world. They don't have those stars. They don't have those shining. They don't have those hopes in their life. They don't have those rivers or the mountains in their life which bring freshness. That means nothing is natural, which should be available to these youngsters, but that is not the part of their life. So life is quite gloomy, quite uncertain, okay, unpredictable. Nobody knows actually where they're going to lead to, and this is the pain that the poet reflects through this particular poem about these children. Surely, now the third paragraph, children, comes to you. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. Shakespeare is referred as wicked. Why? And the map a bad example. Why does he say Shakespeare to be wicked and map a bad example? It's simple, because they don't serve any purpose. इसका एक साधारण से आंसर है कि ना तो मैप और ना ही शेक्सपियर इनके किसी काम का है. शेक्सपियर की बात करें तो हाई प्रोफाइल लोगों की बात होती है, अमीर लोगों की बात होती है, पॉलिटिकल क्लास की बात होती है, उन तक पहुंचने में वो सक्षम है, वो लोग उसको सुनेंगे. लेकिन ये जो ऑर्डिनरी बच्चे हैं, स्लम ड्वेलर्स हैं, एलिमेंट्री स्कूल है, शुरू में इसको पढ़ाया जाना है, उनके पास वो सुविधा भी नहीं है, तो फिर शेक्सपियर उसका काम क्या है वहाँ पे. लेकिन वो क्योंकि किसी ने डोनेट कर दिया, उन्होंने लगा दिया इसको, इसलिए वो किसी काम का नहीं है, इसलिए इसको विकेट बोल दिया. मैप ए बैड एग्जाम्पल. पूरे मैप में पूरा हाई प्रोफाइल लिस्ट दे रखा है, पूरी फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, कंफर्ट्स हैं, लग्जरीज हैं, सब कुछ है, लेकिन इन बच्चों के लिए क्या पे हैं? चीज़ें तो हैं, कंफर्ट तो हैं, लग्जरीज तो हैं, सब चीज़ है, लेकिन इन बच्चों के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है. इसलिए मैप कोई पर्पस सर्व ही नहीं करता, इसलिए मैप बैड एग्जाम्पल हो गया. ओके, विद, और उसमें क्या है मैप में? शिप्स, सन, लव, टेम्पटिंग देम टू स्टील. टेम्पटिंग मीन्स एंटाइसिंग. इतनी सारी चीज़ें हैं, लव, मोहब्बत, प्यार, सबको दे रखा है, शिप्स दे रखी हैं, इनको एंटाइस करता है, टेम्प्ट करता है कि भाई तुम भी बाहर निकलो, ये सब चीज़ें भी हैं तुम्हारी लाइफ में नहीं, लेकिन बाहर तो जरूर है ना. सो टेम्प्ट, इस चीज़ों को टेम्प्ट करते हैं कि ये भी बाहर वहाँ से भागने की कोशिश करेंगे, चोरियाँ करेंगे, बाहर भागेंगे, लाइक दिस. दिस इज एंड शिप्स, with ships, sun and love tempting them to steal, them these slum dwellers to steal. मीन्स ये जो एग्जाम्पल दे रखा है मैप में, इतने बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें हैं, तो इनको ये तो पता लग जाता है ना कि भाई कुछ चीज़ है बाहर जो हमारे पास नहीं है. हाँ, इनको कुछ दिखाया ना जाए, कुछ बताया जाए तो ये बाहर नहीं भागेंगे, लेकिन क्योंकि दिखा दिया आपने. टेम्पटेशन होता कहाँ है? जब हम बाहर से कुछ ना कुछ देख लेते जो हमारे पास नहीं है, इसलिए. ओके, एंड you can talk about the ships or the sun or the love. Now nobody is there to love them, but then yes, it is there. Somebody is loved outside, so they see that, so they are ready to run away from there. They are ready to steal for lives that slyly, that means secretly, turn in their cramped holes. That means the holes which are all closed from all areas. They are not allowed to go. They cannot see beyond one particular limit. So they want to steal. They want to run away from there. From fog to endless night. Now they keep striving. They keep toiling right from early morning, even if it is fog, until late night. Of course, whether it's night or it is fog, it's uncertain, uncertainty, all just revolving around, creeping around them. Okay, so they cannot see anything beyond that, but they have to toil and toil and toil. You can see when somebody is poor like them, they may work and work and work, but then they don't have much resources in the end also, so they keep toiling even for their bread and butter. This is for life that slightly turn in their cramped doors, from fog to endless night. Whether it's fog or it's endless night, it is all similar to them. On their slag means waste, heap means mound, that means pile, ढेर मीन्स जहाँ भी हीप्स हैं, जहाँ भी गार्बेज, इनका सारा बचपन, सारा टाइम वहीं पे निकल जाता है. ऑन द स्लैग हीप दीज चिल्ड्रन वियर स्किन्स peeped through by bones. Look at this. The bones are just creeping out of their skins. So slim, so thin, so malnourished, so weak, skeleton like their bodies are, that easily you can spot those bones which have come out of their body, their skins. That's how they look like. And the entire time, the whole time that is being wasted there on these heaps here and there, just searching for their something or the other to find. On the slag heap these children wear skins peeped, that means coming out through by bones and spectacles of steel with mending glass. Well, if they have any spectacle with them, which they wear, that must have been thrown or must have been given by somebody who must have thrown, because there was a hole, there was a crack, or it was tied down with a thread, so it was discarded one. That spectacles actually has come to one of these, he's wearing that, so there is a crack in that, there is a hole in that, he's tied down. Okay, so this clearly reflects the state of mind and the state in which they live. That is spectacles of steel with mended glass. So children, if you can afford to get a fresh pair of glasses, you will easily get that. It happens with some of you, might be in the position to wear those glasses. So when one gets lost or gets broken, you tend to get another one. But it's not the case. They cannot afford to purchase, but whatever they get from anywhere, now that is either mended, that is repaired, there is a hole here, okay, they are cracked somewhere, and they are tied down from either side. So that shows the actual condition of these slum children. Like, again similarly children, like bottle bits of stone. Now those glasses look like as if a stone has been broken, a glass has been broken on a stone, the glasses are like, so is their life. Their life is all scattered. It's not fixed. They don't know exactly what to do, what not to do, whether they will achieve or not. They're just leading the life for leading sake only. There's no purpose behind that. There's no hope. There's nobody who can actually project their life in front. That's a reason. All of their time and space. So all the time and the space you find anywhere they'll be fine. All the time that is on the space are foggy. Miss पूरा का पूरा एक कोहरे की तरह एक ज़िंदगी है उनकी, जो कि अनसर्टन है और उस पर रिलाई नहीं किया जा सकता, भरोसा नहीं किया सकता, और उनको पता नहीं है कि कहाँ पहुँचना कहाँ नहीं पहुँचना. जस्ट जिए जा रहे हैं सिर्फ जीने के लिए. दिस इज़ ऑल ऑफ द टाइम एंड स्पेस आर फॉगी. कोहरे की तरह उनका पूरा का पूरा जीवन है. स्लम, सो ब्लॉट means blemish their maps with their slums as big as doom. Means doom, that is hell. What the poet wants to say, that we need to project their lives, we need to project their slums, so that it comes in the knowledge of the people, and they must take some reasonable steps to uplift their life. इनकी ज़िंदगी को, इनके स्लम्स को हमें प्रोजेक्ट करने की ज़रूरत है. मीन्स ये जो स्लम्स में रहते हैं, इनका ज़िंदगी भी बिल्कुल वैसा होना चाहिए जैसे कुछ वो मैप्स में दिखाया जा रहा है. दैट इज़ द एक्चुअल मीनिंग व्हाट यू वांट, दैट देयर लाइव्स, देयर स्लम्स, देयर हट शुड बी blotted, should be blemished, and that should be brought up equivalent to the spaces, the comforts, the everything that these rich class people have got it, they should also be the part of their life. Before actually they die, they should see this. But as big as doom, again, as and as children, it's a simile. Now the last paragraph is coming, children. Unless governor, teacher, inspector, visitor. Now the teaching faculty, the administrative faculty, the infrastructure, nothing is there on paper. Everything is there, but actually there is a difference in their life. Now, whenever an inspector, a teacher, or a governor, or a ray visitor comes, their life comes in action. Everything appears to be in its place. It appears as if the school is working everything in its order. You may have seen it in the schools also. Whenever there is the principal comes, or the governor comes, or the director comes, or the management comes, or somebody from the CBSE people, they come to a school for affiliation. So everything comes in its place. This is and here, even when the governor, teacher, inspector, visitor, somebody of this status comes, everything comes in its place. Okay. This map becomes their window. This is, time and again he's saying, this map becomes their window. That means the poet really wants that all these luxuries and facilities which this rich and elite class enjoy, they should also be enjoyed by these ordinary people, the slum dweller. That is what this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut down upon their lives like catacombs. Again, like is a simile. Catacombs is undergraves. Well, time and time again this fact is coming, that their life end there up to a limit, beyond which they cannot see. Okay, undergraves, catacomb. Their lives, since nobody is there to show what is beyond, and the kind of life they are leading, it appears that will end up in the dooms only. Before they actually see anything, their life will end up there. But before that does, the poet wants that the high people, high class people, the NGOs, the politicians, okay, they all should take a note of that, and they should make their lives as privileged as these rich people lead. Break till they break the town. Now he says, just break them into the world of studies, children. Education is the only necessity that needs to be brought to these people, and that can actually stop anything and every disaster that can be stopped if you provide education to them. Proper education, children, natural. They should be allowed to run under the sky, on the sand, near the sea, under those trees. They don't need those air conditioner rooms, children. They're slum dwellers. But then they need natural environment, and at least the fundamental, the basic thing that need to be there for these slum dwellers, that have to be taken care of. So break till they break the town. If you don't do that, if you don't provide education, obviously, and you have tempted them by showing that map, that there is a love, there is a sun, there is a ship, there are flowers, there is a valley, there is music, there are buildings, there are sports ground, there are musical orchestra things, all you have shown. Now what they will do, they will steal, they will come out, they will run. So you have already made a temptation to them by showing that yes, things exist, you don't have. So if you don't provide proper education, I say that the kind of life they lead, according to their level, their standard. You cannot make everybody an IPS officer, a doctor, engineer. But at least basic education can be provided, so that at least they know what's wrong and what's right. So that kind of education, and that also in proper environment, natural environment, जो उनको मिलना चाहिए, वो उनका नेचर के नीचे होना चाहिए, सनलाइट के नीचे होना चाहिए, उनको भागने का अवसर मिलना चाहिए सैंड्स पर, समुंदर के बिल्कुल पास. तो वो एनवायरनमेंट अगर उसको दोगे तो उनको समझ में आएगा, और वो सिटीज़ में जाके हल्ला गुल्ला या कैओस या वायलेंस नहीं क्रिएट करेंगे. break open till they break the town. Otherwise what will happen? You can see, children, in general life also, who are these breakers of law, violators of law. ओके दो हु डज दिस ऑफेंस, ये ऑफेंस कौन करता है? आप आमतौर तक देखेंगे कि जो लोग जिनके पास जॉब्स नहीं हैं, जो घर से खाली होते हैं, जिनके पास कुछ करने के लिए कुछ नहीं होता, तो ये लोग क्या है कि वॉयलेंस में, ब्लड शेड में, ओके अनरेस्ट में, ये सब चीज़ें वही लोग करते हैं। तो अगर एजुकेशन इनको भी मिल जाए तो ये चीज़ें वो भी बंद कर सकते हैं। तो इसीलिए this is the reason he says that come on, provide them education, an education that suits them, okay, that fits in the scheme of their things, natural, again I would say, under the sun, on the sand, near the sea, under the trees, just fresh air they should be exposed to, and more than that they should be taught in their own language. Yeah, so they need to be educated, and they need to be educated in their own way, the way they want, जिस तरीके से उनको अच्छा लगता है, उनका कंफर्ट जोन में हो, ओके, उनका तरीका है, उनका स्टेटस, उनका लेवल है, उसी तरीके से उनको पढ़ाया जाना चाहिए। अब वो जो भाषा जानते हैं, अब ज़रूरी नहीं कि उनको अंग्रेज़ी आती हो, अंग्रेज़ी में तो नहीं है वो अच्छे होंगे तो अंग्रेज़ी नहीं पढ़ा सकते, अब उनको कुछ नेचुरल कुछ रीजनल डायलेक्ट तो होंगे ना, उसमें पढ़ाया जाना चाहिए। So, and show the children green fields and make their world. That means expose them to the natural environment. That is green fields, and make their world run azure on gold sand. That means sea beaches, under the sky, under the blue sky, and let their tongues run naked. Means let them express freely. उनको अवसर मिलना चाहिए कि वो अपने मन की बात बोल सके. Express them freely. This is let their tongues run naked into books. That means let them express themselves freely. And the white and the green leaves open, history is there whose language is. That means again white and green leaves. That means different subjects which are taught to them, that should be taught in the quite natural instinct that suits them, And history is there who have made their name in the education. If you educate them, obviously they will get into some offices, they will become bureaucrats, and when that happens, they will be in the position to help the people and society themselves. And if the society is helped, it means that particular boy or a girl who comes from this area, if he is serving the society, that boy or that girl, that student is blossoming just like sun. As the sun gives light to others, so are these children in the position to give light. But when it happens that they get education, and that too in their own natural environment. So before they actually create violence and unrest, it's high time that everybody needs to think about that they need to be given proper environment, proper facility, and whatever is enjoyed by the high elite class students, that also should be a part of this. This is what the message is in this particular poem by Stephen Spender, and this is all what I have to say. Thank you and Jai Hind.